70 million years ago, the mightiest dinosaur that ever lived roamed the Earth. Its name was Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was 13 meters long and weighed 6 tons. This awesomely powerful creature was king of the dinosaurs. Much about T-Rex has been shrouded in mystery. Now, with modern technology, a clear picture is taking shape. Remarkable physical capabilities that defy conventional wisdom. An advanced brain and intellect for hunting.
We look at their brain and wonder whether that enlarged cerebrum may have actually had the capacity to be involved in sort of a coordinated group hunting effort.
In addition, new fossil finds from around the world are revealing the origins of this enormous predator. It turns out that T-Rex's ancestors were actually small and frail.
Well, they weren't, the big bears or the big lions or the big tigers at the top of the food chain. They were something much smaller, much weaker.
Somehow, tyrannosaurs transformed from small creatures threatened by their enemies into the most powerful dinosaurs of them all. Starting with the very earliest ancestors, we'll explore an amazing tale of evolution. Siblings on a journey in search of new lands. They cross paths with a fearsome carnivore. Which will reign supreme? The King of Kings, Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is a story of 100 million years of remarkable evolution. The first Tyrannosaurus fossils were discovered in the United States in the early 20th century. The dinosaur's monstrous appearance inspired its name, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Tyrant Lizard King, or T-Rex for short. For more than a century, scientists have been working to piece together T-Rex's evolution. Stephen Brussati is one of the top researchers in the field.
So everybody in the world has heard of T-Rex, but for a long time there have been some big mysteries about where T-Rex came from, how it evolved, how it got so big. And these have been mysteries for many decades.
But finally, over the last 15 years, people all over the world have been finding older, smaller, more primitive tyrannosaurs that tell us where the big ones came from.
Scientists are zeroing in on T-Rex's roots. They've determined that its earliest ancestors first emerged far from North America. This is the Jianggar Basin in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China. Now dry, this landscape was once home to many different types of dinosaurs. In recent years, excavations have unearthed a wide variety of fossils. Xu Xing has led some of these digs.
一上午其实人已经很疲惫了，但是呢没有找到特别好的东西。你想一天在这个8个小时、10个小时，在这个30、40度的高温下，没有阴凉，这个对人的体力消耗是非常大的。走着走着，我有一个野外队员叫做于涛， 远远的你当然距离比较远，他就在喊我，我可以听到他喊我，显然很兴奋，我就知道他肯定有什么很重要的发现，在一个小山坡的小冲沟上，所以从牙齿上看，我们就判断可能是一种新的物种，所以在一个小冲沟的边上，我们就看到了一排黑色的牙齿。当时一看就是典型的吃肉的这个肉食龙的牙齿，当时非常兴奋。
Inside a 160 million-year-old soil strata, they found a completely new meat-eating dinosaur. A crown-like appendage on its head inspired its name, Guanlong, or crown lizard. Xu and his team conducted a detailed analysis of the teeth and bones. They determined that Guanlong was T-Rex's ancestor.
我们才意识到啊，我们可能有了这个暴龙家族的最早的代表。当时是非常兴奋，应该说。
Ah, there they are. A group of Guanlong siblings. They're on the hunt. One takes off. Perhaps he's the oldest. He closes in on his prey. But he's no match. At this point in time, the Guanlong was just 3 meters, dwarfed by the 13-meter-long T-Rex. It weighed only 75 kilograms, 1/80th of the weight of its massive cousin.
The very oldest tyrannosaurs were much different, much smaller, but they didn't have anywhere near the firepower of a T-Rex. They were kind of like cats or dogs, kind of that type of animal. They weren't, the big bears or the big lions or the big tigers at the top of the food chain.
How did such a small and relatively weak creature eventually lead to T-Rex, the largest dinosaur of them all?
The story of Tyrannosaurs is really a story about evolution. And one of the things that it tells us is that evolution is unpredictable. When those very first tyrannosaurs like Guanlong entered the scene 170 million years ago, you never would have thought that they would ultimately evolve into giant monstrous animals like T-Rex, but that's what happened. How were they able to survive for so long, for 80 million years, as these small human-sized carnivores? And then maybe the biggest mystery of all, how were those small tyrannosaurs able to switch and become these giant, dominant super predators?
The keys to unlocking these mysteries are newly discovered fossils from around the world. Researchers have discovered 28 species related to T-Rex. Brusati has conducted detailed analyses of the bones of some of these specimens. His goal was to clarify the process behind T-Rex's evolution. The approach he used is called phylogenetic analysis.
We have hundreds and hundreds of those features that vary in these dinosaurs. Some have the bones, some don't. Some have small muscle attachments, some have big ones. Some have triangle-shaped bones or projections, others have square-shaped ones. Those kind of features that are variable.
Brusati's analyses have illuminated 366 distinctive characteristics of tyrannosaur bones. And the data he's amassed form the basis for mapping T-Rex's family tree. The results confirm that the diminutive Guanlong was indeed the most primitive species of tyrannosaur. From the time the first Guanlong emerged until T-Rex appeared took 100 million years. Over this time, dramatic evolutionary advances created a creature of unparalleled dominance.
So it is an unusual animal, a freak of nature, a feat of evolution. And I'm fascinated to learn, to try to understand how evolution makes an animal like T-Rex? That's the mystery that drives me in the research that I do.
160 million years ago, China's Jiangao Basin was home to the Guanlong. This species then migrated to North America, and about 70 million years ago, T-Rex appeared. The question is why T-Rex's ancestors left their familiar environment and set out on their epic journey. A clue can be found in the southern reaches of the Pacific Ocean. 5,000 meters beneath the surface lies an enormous lava plateau. Naohiko Okochi has studied the formation.
そのサイズがですね、とてつもなく大きくて、北海道から沖縄までがすっぽり入ってしまうほどの大きさですね。だいたい 2000km 四方と。
This huge lava mass was created by a major geological event 120 million years ago. Deep inside the Earth is a swirling mass of matter called the mantle. Magma suddenly surged up, erupting through fissures in the ocean floor. The Pacific Ocean wasn't the only place this occurred. All over the world, volcanoes violently burst to life. These major eruptions also occurred on the Eurasian continent, where the primitive tyrannosaurs lived. They had no choice but to flee. Leaving familiar territory behind, they began a journey into the unknown. They headed toward the north for a reason. Climate change. The gases released by volcanic eruptions contained large amounts of carbon dioxide. This triggered global warming.
二酸化炭素の濃度が現在の、およそ 2.5 倍から5倍。それによって温室効果が起きまして、植生をですね大きく、北極圏へまで広げ、そしてそれが最終的には恐竜のですね、生態を変えて、あるいは進化を引き起こしたというふうに考えても不思議ではないと思います。
As the Earth warmed, lush forests sprouted up from Siberia to the Arctic. Xu Xing believes this greening of the north encouraged the Tyrannosaur's migration.
从早期的角龙到晚期的这个角龙，总是暴龙家族，它是这个猎食性动物，就是吃肉的动物。那么呢，它有时候迁移呢，有时候会随着这个植食性的动物来走，是吧？如果植食性动物从这儿迁到那儿，那么这个肉食性动物也会跟着迁。
Triceratops fossils have been found from Eurasia to North America, and they're often found together with fossils of tyrannosaurs. As the forests spread further north, the plant-eating dinosaurs' range expanded. Scientists believe this is what prompted T-Rex's ancestors to begin their migration. Into the unknown. Searching for a new home with bountiful game, they start out on their epic journey. They arrive on the eastern edge of the Eurasian continent. In front of them is a vast ocean. And just when it seems they can't go any further, something incredible happens. Tectonic shifts bring the Eurasian and American continents closer together. Then, a land bridge appears, closing the gap between them. A path has opened. The two siblings make their way toward it and head to a new land. The pair arrives in North America. It's a vast expanse of land covered in lush forests. But it turns out large meat-eating dinosaurs also live here. Before T-Rex, other carnivorous dinosaurs ruled the Americas. Scientists have found fossil remains in the deserts of Utah. Lindsay Zano is a paleontologist who has explored the area. She had been excavating for 5 years. Then, in 2013, she made a significant discovery.
And I was coming around the corner on a low hill and spotted some bone sticking out of the side of the hill. So I got down and looked at the bone and could tell instantly that it was a theropod bone, a very large theropod by the looks of it, and we got very, very excited right away that we'd found a very large species that had never been seen before.
Now the real work began. Team member Peter Makovicki took the fossil to Chicago for further study. His specialty is analyzing dinosaur bones.
The bones we have here are parts of the skeleton of a large carnivorous dinosaur. Even though it's big and superficially might look like Tyrannosaurus, it actually belongs to a very different lineage of meat-eating dinosaurs.
The size of the bones suggested the dinosaur measured about 11 meters from head to tail. It's a relative of Allosaurus from the Jurassic era and is known as Siach. Experts believe this dinosaur had razor-sharp claws and teeth like knives. Such features point to a mega predator.
The name Siach actually comes from the Ute Indian language. It refers to sort of a cannibalistic clown monster, sort of a dangerous creature in their legends, and it is by far the biggest theropod and would likely have been the top predator in its ecosystem.
Close to the Siach fossil find, Zano has recently discovered a relative of Tyrannosaurus.
This is a tooth from one of the mysterious small tyrannosaurs we find here in these rocks that are about 98 million years old. We find the tantalizing remains of tiny little tyrannosaurs, about the size maybe of a small horse.
A tooth from this dinosaur is just about 1/10 the size of that of a T-Rex.
So the tyrannosaurs living here were quite small. They were living in the shadow of dinosaurs like Siach.
The weak Tyrannosaur siblings were now living side by side with this formidable beast. They were absolutely outrivaled in size and in power.